Alright guys, so we got a French versus Mongols in the losers bracket of the Warchief Club 12 on the America's Trials Day 1 tournament. So we got Stormkeeper in the losers bracket up against Ekperrins, the red Mongol player, the blue Mongol player being Stormkeeper. So a second scout for Stormkeeper straight off the bat. Ekperrins just going for Vils at the moment. So he's found his his stone, so he's going to put up his Ovu. Ekperrins needs to probably rally these sheep just a little bit closer. So Stormkeeper at the moment just working on a food gold eco. Being French, he's going to probably play minimalistically on his wood, because really all he needs to do is just maintain houses to actually maintain his knight production and his vil production. While Ekperrins probably going to be very wood food centric, other than the gold he is going to need to age up. So meanwhile we've got two scouts against the one. So Mongol players having a Khan is going to mean that they're going to compete on even scout numbers really well and outcompete their opponent, but with only one scout he's not really going to get as many sheep as his opponent, will get as good of a read of the map as early on. And then on top of that, your early mid-game scouting is pretty important. Just knowing what your opponent has and when they're looking at sending it out, or if you've got the opportunity to shove or raid. So we've got an early barracks here for Ekperrins. It's interesting he's not... Ooh, so he's lost his Khan, bringing it too close to Stormkeeper. And these sheep are in a really bad spot because Stormkeeper probably going to bring his scout back soon, and he's going to be able to cap them and send them straight to his town center. Yeah. So Ekperrins unfortunately throwing away a couple of sheep there. The beauty of Mongols is that he can make his own sheep, but that does come at a cost. Well, initial cost, and it will pay itself back, but it does come at an initial cost. But this barracks has been moved forward, and there are some Vils coming up just to go for a bit of tower harass. So I think he's rallying everything here, but he's going to intend to creep it over here, because, you know, your opponent's not going to need 4,000 gold by the time you want your outpost harass to work. So Ekperrins now just on wood and food, still skipping the gold gathering, has that Ovu, which is the only need for stone that the Mongols have. Don't need to build houses either. Huns do not need houses. The Ovu does gather faster depending on your age as well, so that's another incentive for him to eventually start gathering gold and aging up. Plus he's probably going to need something more than just spearmen to actually take down knights, especially once they start getting upgrades. But for now, the tower harass is going to fare him well, because it's going to force Stormkeeper to get his own. All Stormkeeper needs to do is really send another 2 villages, and I think he can probably defend this. He's going to garrison, and he might be able to get a vill or 2 here. Oh no, he's not even garrisoning. It's a base villager. Ekperrins now has access to his Khan again. Well, it might actually be stuck in the wood line. Ooh, so Ekperrins has his tower finished a little bit more before Stormkeeper's. So Stormkeeper's actually going to let up and look at getting on stone instead. He's getting his age 2 anyway, so he might look at just sitting on 2 town center, and maybe even just using a lot of archers in age 2 to defend, and then transition back onto the knights. While Ekperrins is not going to need to just spam Spearman forever. He's going to get a few more to be able to keep pressuring his opponent and just deny the initial knights, but from there he's probably going to get his Mangadai or just get some traditional foot archers. But a second tower just to keep harassing the School of Cav and keep tabs on any knights coming out. This tower here is not going to last much longer. So the tower of Stormkeepers goes down. Ekperrins maintaining some good pressure here, but Stormkeeper only on 2 villages on that School of Cav, so he's really maximizing his gathering behind this, though he is housed at the moment. Yeah, Stormkeeper really needs to throw up a house here, but I think he's getting enough to make sure he can get a range. He's been housed for ages here now. This is really hurting him. So Ekperrins is doing a great job with the pressure at the moment. Stormkeeper's only just now going for a house, so he's going to be behind by a couple of villages now. So 18 vills for him versus 23 for Ekperrins at the moment. And the scouts can't take good fights against the spears. Well, this tower, if it focuses down the house, or if Ekperrins looks at using the infantry to focus down the house, it could be very good for him. But nice snipe there by Stormkeeper. He's sending the scouts to keep the spears distracted, and the first knight pips that villager. And ooh, he's almost able to get a second, but he needs to get the knight out of there now. He has transitioned to archers, but while this is going on, Ekperrins adding some pastures, and he might even be able to look at adding his own bowmen not long behind this. And before there's a critical mass of bowmen, the spearmen can always overwhelm them if Stormkeeper overextends. Plus these towers, useful fallback point for him to whittle down these archers till he gets his own, or till he gets some horsemen. But he really needs to look at cancelling this outpost now, I think, because the longer the outpost is up taking damage, the less you're actually going to get when you cancel it. You're best off actually cancelling it straight away, regardless of how much of it's actually been built. Unless you're actually deliberately using it as a bait. So Stormkeeper able to secure that second gold mine while his first is being harassed, and I do think Ekperrins might be best off focusing down the house, or even having the units exit the tower to damage the house, because I think they actually deal slightly more damage that way. So Ekperrins going to start gathering some gold from here. He's done well to maintain this pressure, and with 750 wood in the bank, he may even look at going all the way up to 900 and going for a second town centre. And he is going to get an aggressive stables over here. So this is interesting. It's fairly greedy, but at the same time, it's going to reduce the travel time for the unit he needs to cut down this archers count, and he can always keep towering around this area. Make sure he denies the gold in the hunt over here from Stormkeeper and really lock down all the resources on the left side of the map. While Stormkeeper might be looking at setting up to raid here. He's just parked these units here ready to go. And I mean, unless any spears get on them. Yeah, no. Ekperrins isn't going to know about this coming. It's going to mean some... Ooh, that low village is going to get out. While this is going on, the Khan's going to get sniped too. So Stormkeeper, some nice harass here, going to pick off a couple of vills, going to pick off the Khan, and ooh, only just now there's some spears to actually force him out of Ekperrins' base. So, Vil counts, well, Eco and Mill, it's 30 and 12 to 27 and 12. So Stormkeeper's closed that Eco gap a little bit, and he's closed the military gap now. Ekperrins has a lot of wood in the bank, and I think, yeah, 1,000 wood. Is he going to go for a town center, or what's the game plan here? Or is he just making sure he's got enough to just keep towering his opponent? Yeah, that time he does cancel the tower instantly, which is a good idea. 1,000 wood in the bank. I wonder, is he going to go for a second town center? If he puts it right here, this could be great for him. He's throwing down more pastures though. I don't know if this is the way to go, or if he's better off just getting on the berries, getting on the hunts. Because that's a fairly expensive commitment. That's 600 wood he's just spent, when he could probably have gone for a second town center. Or added more army production at this point, or added more towers. I mean, he's got plenty of stone and gold in the bank to actually look at upgrading these towers and then shifting his units around to try and harass Stormkeeper over on this side of the map. Or Stormkeeper. Adding another range, adding a market. Wonder where he's going to look at trading to though. Because I mean, that's ridiculously close. But man, that's a lot of pastures to commit to this early on. That house is still under threat, but Stormkeeper's massed up a few knights. He's got some bows at home to clean up any spears that try pushing into him. Ekperrins has a good number of horsemen here, but at the same time, he's got no spears at home, so something of Ekperrins can get punished here. Possibly this Ovu. Spears out to try and challenge them, but if they focus... Ah, here we go. There's some more spears back at home for Ekperrins. So Stormkeeper not going to be able to stick around. Some nice defense now for Ekperrins. But the Knights are going to regen, provided Stormkeeper has that upgrade, which he does. While the Khan doing a bit of a quick scout. The Knights are going to have to get out of there. So Stormkeeper has the resources to get age 3 from here, but Ekperrins hasn't just yet. He's banked up a lot of stone. He's gone to age 2 in the meanwhile, because bearing in mind, he was sitting on age 1 for a little bit longer than his opponent. Here we go. So he's going for a town centre now. Mr. Perrins. I do think it's a little bit late. He probably could have got this a little bit earlier. You probably need to get those deer stones up faster, because you do actually need age 2 to get your town centres. Meanwhile, the Royal Institute, so the French unique techs, are all going to be cheaper and accessible in age 3. Any that were age 4 requirement. While this is going on, Stormkeeper has upgraded this tower, which is nice because he can look at really whittling down spearman numbers. Not going to be able to repair that though, but does have bows in to support this, so he can chip away at this from afar. While there is knights to support, so Ekperrins, the clock is ticking with being able to deal damage to this Archibald before they head back in the base. So I think Stormkeeper is going to be able to take a good fight here, and these arrow slits are a little bit late for Ekperrins. Like, this one's not going to finish in time before these towers go down. And the archers are actually going to go straight up to try and attack because I think... Oh no, never mind. I was going to say, I think Stormkeeper's realised that there's not much other production here at home for Ekperrins. He's really committed to a lot of pastures this early on. Like, look at this, he doesn't even need that many. That's ridiculous. That's nutty, man. And so, Stormkeeper, now that he's cleared out the towers, is even going to split his army up, sending the cavalry to take down the stables, but he's pushing up with the archers because he knows at the moment there is only infantry, and they will soon be ranged, but for now, he only knows about the infantry. The second town centre, a nice choice by Ekperrins, but he's parked his spears here when he could probably look at bringing them forward and maybe cleaning up all this cavalry of Stormkeeper, because that's not a huge amount of them for him. So the armory upgrades. Whoa, Stormkeeper's already got melee and range damage upgrades. He's got melee damage age 3 as well. Well, there's no armory yet for Ekperrins. And we've got 46 vils to 52 for Ekperrins. So he will start getting a bit of an eco lead in the long run. But for now, he's actually really started to fall behind in terms of tech. And in terms of the army size, so losing that stables as well, he probably could have looked at evacuating it while he was taking this fight. Because every building other than towers can just be packed up and run away by the Mongols. It looks like Stormkeeper needs to focus the actual range here, but he's got that much out on the field at the moment. I don't think it matters. He's actually going to have a bit of an advantage in any fight he takes here against Mr. Perrins. So, Ekperrins gonna lose his OVU now. He does have a reasonable force behind this, and he is going to try and evacuate some of this production. So Stormkeeper is actually below in terms of population at the moment. Ooh, and bearing in mind, he can't really stick around now. But he is going to start taking the relics, I think, having gone for that early monastery. Ooh, so I think Ekperrins actually come out of that fight a lot better than anybody expected there. But he did have a really nice spearman count there. But Stormkeeper does have access to the relics. Doesn't actually have a second town centre yet, but has the stone to either go for a second and third or go for a keep in not very long. So Blacksmith going up next to the OVU spot, but I think Ekperrins might be best off just going straight over to another spot for the OVU, like over here behind this town centre, because this one's only got 115 on it, so it's going to run out very quickly. So run by here by Stormkeeper, who does clean up a couple of vills and forces Ekperrins to scramble some units around. Bear in mind, this all mounted army is going to be much faster than this infantry army, even when there is that attack speed arrow, that movement speed arrow popped. With market production, oh no, is he actually producing out of his market? No. With monk production though, Stormkeeper going to be able to get that eco advantage to catch up for the fact that Ekperrins got double vil production, so 57.33 for him and 57.31 for Stormkeeper, but Stormkeeper having harassed Ekperrins a little bit here. But Steppered out on the way now for Ekperrins. So he's going to have some pretty good gold gathering very shortly. But he probably needs to throw up a go over here. Yeah, he's going to add one. Or move it over there. Well, a keep on the central sacred site already for Stormkeeper. And you can probably keep this one pretty safely. Well, this one over here, a little bit closer to Ekperrins, I think. So he should be able to get on that one quite easily. But man, this pasture production has been wicked for Ekperrins. He's got 32 vils on his food there. That's unreal. But I do actually think it'd be much faster if he got on the traditional hunt. And he wouldn't have had to invest in so many pastures here. So really nice spending here from Stormkeeper. He's got basically nothing in the bank. But he probably needs to cancel some vills. Get some more knights in production while Ekperrins. Oh, he's got stacks of crossbows in production. Be really good for him, and he's got so much wood at the moment. I wonder what he's looking to go for now. It's a big raid here by Stormkeeper, and if he can snipe that step redoubt, it's actually a huge blow to the Mongol player. There's plenty of longbows in the mix, and if they can pick off the crossbows in particular, it'll be a huge boon to Stormkeeper in this fight, while Ekperrins needs to be very careful that he doesn't lose too many bows to the knights too early, and that he can actually focus down Stormkeepers to deny the opportunity to snipe the spearmen here. So it's a really tough fight for our players, and there's no upgrade on the way on that tower for Ekperrins, but at the same time it does offer a good amount of damage against the archers, but it looks like there's no front line left for Ekperrins at the moment, so Stormkeeper really able to make quite a hefty push into his base, forcing a lot of towers up, forcing a lot of idle gatherers and a lot of building gatherers, like 50 there almost. 46, well, there's more being killed off and there's more archers being killed off. So Stormkeeper even keeping some more vills busy there. So this is great for him and really dire for Ekperrins, because his opponent's right on top of his production here at the moment. He needs to be able to hightail it out of here with a lot of it, or just throw down a fuckload of buildings. Like, he's got so much wood in the bank and so much food in the bank, but he's just not spending all that well. He just needs more production from here. Got 48 gatherers on food when really he needs to get most of them on gold, and look at getting some on food and then retasking his town centers onto the food. I mean, get some on gold, some on wood, retask the town centers to gather the food from here. With that many idle for him, Stormkeeper's really able to keep pushing, really able to maintain a solid economy behind this. And these production facilities, the ranges are gonna fall for Ekperrins. While Stormkeeper still just only on the one town center, but things are looking great for him at home at the moment. He's adding more and more stables. Got a workshop. He hasn't actually started. Has he grabbed the relics? Yeah, he has grabbed relics. Sorry, he's got 2 relics in the bank. He's looking at grabbing some more. That step redoubt moved and attempted repair by Ekperrins, but he's run out of wood now at the moment, and he's still got, fucking hell, he's got 40 villagers garrisoned there in anticipation of this push. But while this is going on, he is denying himself so much gathering that he really needs at this point in the game to be able to catch up in terms of army size. It's a lot of pastures to have, man. That's a crazy amount. Like, even at this stage of the game, that's a lot of pastures. Oh, and he's gone for... He's got 7 scouts over here. Not what he needs. He's going for an army of scouts when really he needs an army of horsemen or lancers at this stage. So I think Ekperrins is really panicking from here and sort of relying on the fact that Stormkeeper hasn't transitioned to any siege yet, so he can't really clean up this army as such just yet. And that's a lot of stables to add, but scouts only. I don't know if this is going to work out. I mean, these guys are squishy and they don't do a lot of damage. They do regen health, they're fast, and they only cost food, so they're a really easy way to dump all your food. But what's the gain here? I mean, Stormkeeper probably overgathering a little bit of gold, but all he needs to do I guess is just gather a bit more food, like retask. Gold gathers onto the food, and he can really reverse things and be able to dump that however he pleases into a gold food army from here. But Ekperrins really committing to 10 stables and just massing scouts. So what's he got there? Like 40 scouts? 42 scouts. So I mean, even if they surround villages, it's going to take a while for them to kill them. And it's going to be hard for Ekperrins to take a head-on fight here, so I don't know if that was really the best decision for him. Probably just best off trying to move the step redoubt anywhere he can, like try and sneak it around here. This is a really, I guess, tough spot to be in now that he's pushed into a corner. He really should shift that step redoubt now though. And maybe look at getting these springalds and adding some more lancers, but he is moving out with the mass of horsemen here on Stormkeeper. So Stormkeeper pushing in the meanwhile, getting what value he can. He's sniped one town center now, so this will hurt Ekperrins with that eco production curve. But I think he's realized that he's been night rushed and Stormkeeper actually gonna go for the convert, but he's denied there. So in the meanwhile, Ekperrins going to focus down the Royal Institute with his 50 scouts, and he's still streaming more in. But at this stage of the game, he's focusing down the Royal Institute actually, he's not even focusing down the monastery. So he's taking out one of the landmarks. He wants to maybe landmark rush his opponent. But Stormkeeper's got stone and wood in the bank, so I think he should be able to repair through this, considering he's got this much melee and this much range. He might be able to cut down this. It's been an interesting attempt at a scout rush on the landmarks, but not quite working out here for Ekperrins, because bearing in mind he's still got to get both of these buildings, and I think Ekperrins might tap out from here because that's been a huge blow to his army. GG, well played guys. Stormkeeper with that scramble to clean up that rush.